dramatic personality style is really about standing out, getting attention from other people, and being noticed. So one of the main characteristics of dramatic personality style is it's very much looking outward to other people for validation, support, for attention, and it's someone who likes being in the center of attention, in the center of a group, and drawing the spotlight to them. So we see it really often in anything to do with performance. A lot of dramatic personality styles gravitate towards things, positions, types of work where you get the spotlight, where you get attention, and where all eyes are on you. So actors, performers tend to be a good example of this, but also leadership roles. So people who are really like to be the center and the focus of attention deliberately try to get attention for being in a leadership position, being in a position of power. Wherever people will focus on them, that's where they want to be. And people develop really effective skills for doing this, right? And there's all sorts of ways to stand out in how you dress, how you look, what you say, what kind of work you do, what kind of role you have within the workplace, how you relate to other people in the workplace. So one of the skills that people tend to get really good at when they have this style is how to read a room and read other people and understand what is going to attract people's attention, what is going to get people to focus on you, and how to accomplish that, right? Some of the other styles we talked about in Cluster A are really about avoiding the spotlight, trying to stay out of the spotlight, and when you're stressed, getting less attention, getting less notice, because that's associated with stress. Whereas for people with a dramatic personality style, getting attention is really a way of relieving stress, of relieving anxiety. And they might be focused on being the center of attention and being that entertainer. And by being kind of actively controlling the situation, they're reducing their stress in a very different way than other people are. So this is a fantastic attribute in some roles that demand getting attention. Right? So sometimes in those kind of flamboyant leadership styles, we see this a lot in the tech sector, these kind of dramatic personality styles of leaders who get a lot of attention, and people who use that effectively to get the attention of potential employees in a competitive labor market, to get attention of investors, of venture capitalists, to really make their company stand out and make themselves stand out as the embodiment of that company. So that kind of demagogue leader, whether it's in politics or business, tends to be this dramatic personality style that is really focused on getting attention, getting focus, and pulling focus. And if you can use that, if someone can use that within ethical, legal constraints, and make sure that other people in their organization and team are getting sufficient recognition and reward and kind of recognition of their achievement, then that's useful if the person with that dramatic style can rein it in enough to share credit, to share attention, share focus when it's deserved, and also understanding that there's certain parts of a technical team or different types of team who don't want the attention, right? So it's okay to have someone who's pulling focus away from people who don't want it, and pulling focus for ethical, productive, legal achievements and legal achievements within a company or a type of work. The problem comes for someone with a dramatic personality style is when they don't care about the legal, ethical, or relationship ramifications of getting attention, right? And sometimes people with dramatic personality style don't necessarily care what they're getting the spotlight for. They're as happy at being the center of attention for chaos and destruction and conflict as they are for, positive pro-social things. So that's the risk sometimes, is if people with these personality styles in the role feel sidelined, they'll find other ways to get attention because they tend to be very good at figuring out what people like to see, what entertains people, what presses people's buttons, and how to get reactions out of either an individual or a group as a whole. So if they're not in kind of productive and effective work, then sometimes they'll try and steal the spotlight and get attention for other things. And they don't really care that it's dramatic, that it's causing problems for other people's work, that it's detracting from what actually needs to happen. That attention is so important to them, especially in a stressful situation, they'll do anything to achieve it. And usually if they're fairly effective and intelligent, they know exactly what buttons to push and what routes to go down to get that attention. And like all of the personality styles, if it's used and managed effectively, it can be incredibly useful, but there's all sorts of ways that it can turn destructive or toxic or damaging, especially in organizations and workplace environments.